Welcome to another video where we're running dogs and doing some more scouting just before the opening of our hare hunting season up here in New Hampshire. Glad to have you here. In this final preseason video, we're going to see some dog running and some hare, but we're also going to discuss a rabbit's ability to withhold its scent. Is it a real thing or folklore? Then we're going to talk a bit about some important hunting gear, specifically your compass, why everyone should be carrying one in the woods and which ones absolutely aren't worth carrying. Stay tuned to the end of the video for a preview of our next video showing some October 1st opening day hare hunting action, including cleaning a hare and turning him into a tasty lunch on the tailgate. Dogs have been chasing this clever rascal for about 90 minutes now, up in here on the left-hand side, and that's where we picked this run up. Here come the dogs. Let's see if we can get a look at this joker. I might have caught a glimpse of him right over there, I'm not sure. He's right here. There he goes. He's right in here. We'll get a look at the dogs coming through. They're the typical 80, 90, 100 yards behind. Got it right there. What the hell they go silent for? Just get to the camera and they go silent. Oh, there they got it. Well, that's interesting. That happens more often than you'd think. Now that's really interesting. That happens more often than you'd think. And a lot of times you attribute it to the rabbit being shot at. A lot of times you'll have guys say, and I've thought for a long time, that when you shoot at a rabbit, I don't know if it's the gunpowder smell or what, but the dogs really struggle in the general area of where you shot at that rabbit. And I've heard old timers talk about how they think sometimes a rabbit can withhold their scent at certain times. I've always thought that to be a little bit odd and unbelievable, but I've seen it enough. There's something. I think it has to do with the rabbit being startled maybe, because that rabbit, when I swung the camera on him, he saw me and he started to go faster. Now, I really don't know what to make of that, except that I see it quite regularly where the dogs get up to where the rabbit was startled, shot at, startled, whatever, and then they go quiet. And they've got to find the track again, and then they get out of sight, maybe 15 or 20 yards, and just open up and go with it. I mean, these dogs are running. They've run for the last 20 minutes or so without stopping, without being quiet. And then all of a sudden they get to the spot the rabbit was startled and they're quiet. So I don't know what the deal is. I'm just guessing. But I've seen it enough, especially when they've been shot at in a certain spot. I kind of always thought that it was the rabbit scent being covered up by the shot shell, because you can smell when a gun goes off. You can smell the gunpowder. Thought that might mess with the dog, but I've seen it enough where it could come right back through. I've seen it enough where there was no gunpowder, there was no shots fired, but yet that rabbit was startled, and the scent just changes for some reason. I don't know if it's because maybe there's something to do with the fact that they're making bigger jumps. Hare can jump, geez, I've seen 15 feet pretty easily in between jumps when they get startled and they really turn on the afterburner. So maybe it's that. Oh, now it sounds like he's crossing. Dogs just took a sharp right behind the truck. Yeah, they did. Crossed the road. We are 65 yards to the truck, and they're 110, so they crossed 50 yards past the truck. Cool. Dogs just came across the road right there, maybe 20 yards back. I went to do some scouting up and around, about a third of a mile away. I wanted to walk a piece I haven't been in a while, so I was backing up into this road. I was looking in the rearview mirror so I didn't scrape the trees on each side, and I saw the rabbit go bouncing across the road in the rearview mirror. That was kind of cool. Dogs were still about 100 yards behind him. Back up in, but he's making another big old loop. We'll get him on video when he comes back. I parked too close. I don't know if we saw him on camera or not. He came out right here and then crossed right by the wheel of the truck here. Went down in right here. That's where he came out. That's where he went. Oh, you gotta love it. Round and round they go. Training season can be fun. I'm going to let him run this rabbit for another 20 minutes or a half hour. Probably the next time he crosses this road, I'll grab the dogs. Well, we've got a few minutes and we're waiting for the dogs to circle back around. I was asked a question about a compass yesterday. Matter of fact, a young guy asked me, he said, I'm looking to buy a compass, but I don't have a lot of money to spend. Do you have any recommendations? And I do. I can tell you what I have and why. I end up teaching a lot of hunters how to use a compass. They have one a lot of times, but they really don't know, how do I use it? So I'm going to cover that in a future video, exactly how I use a compass. It's not conventional like you will be taught in a mountaineering class with a map and setting your declination and making it very complicated. Keep it very simple, otherwise people won't use them. Keep it very simple. It's a backup navigation, but a very necessary piece of navigation equipment. This is a Sunto, the brand I carry. It's under 20 bucks on Amazon. It's basically the least expensive, really quality made compass that I can find. This is as little as you can spend on a compass from a quality company and have it be worth carrying, basically. Something where the arrow fights to get to north and it stays at north pretty much no matter what you do. I've had more expensive ones over the years, but I lose them often enough that it doesn't make sense to spend more than I need for one that does the job. This does the job. One word of caution, do not buy a cheap compass like you find at Walmart. Don't do it. It's just not worth carrying. You want a compass that you can spin around and that needle is on a very slick little bearing and it's liquid filled so that needle can always fight. It's always going to fight to get to north. You're never going to have to wonder. You get a cheap compass and you've got to finagle it and make sure it's perfectly level and all that nonsense. You don't want that with a compass. Sunto is made in Finland, I believe. All else doesn't fail very often, but when all else does fail, your compass will save the day. I'll put an Amazon link in the video description down there to this model Sunto compass. I actually bought 3 last week just for backups to have, because I saw they went on a heck of a sale. I don't know how they sold them that cheap, but they were ridiculously low price, and this is a good quality compass. Barely hear them in the distance. They're making a big loop around. I'm going to give it a few more minutes, and we're going to grab them when they come back to the road. Well, we've been waiting for an hour for those dogs to come back, and they've been just circling up in there, and he may not cross this trail again. So I'm going to go up in and get him, and we're going to get the heck out of here. You have a great day. We're here. We're going to back in, cut the dogs loose, and get to it. This is going to be great. Find him, buddy. Where is he? We're out here today with old Reliable. I love it. There are a limited number of things in this world that make me smile from my core, from the inside out. And that's one of them right there. If you've never hunted with hounds, I'm gonna slide right in there and we're gonna see what we can do to get a shot at him. It's gonna be challenging with all this vegetation still up. But that's okay, that's part of the early season fun. Come on, good girl. What a good girl, that's a good baby. Come and give him to me, good girl. Man, that was fun. Now we're gonna get to work and get this guy cleaned up. Got one of my favorite skinning knives here. Never go wrong with a little bit of sweet onion. Oh, that came out great. Very tender for a snowshoe hare. That's really tender. Oh, this is awesome.